boys and girls, it's day 10 of fractions, and we're just going to continue comparing fractions today. So I have my markers here, and I'm going to scoot back a little in hopes that you can see pretty well. So a couple things that I would like you to know and remember are that any number over a number is equal to 1. So even if I had 8 over 8 or 102 over 102, they're both equal to 1. These would be, if I had the signs greater than, less than, or equal to, these would be equal, because 1 equals 1. And I apologize, every time I go to video the dog starts barking. Anyhow, she's fine. I don't know why she just keeps barking every time she hears me. So also when I look at fractions, I want to look at the numerator. I want to look at the top number. If the top number is larger than the bottom number, I know that this fraction is greater than 1, is bigger than 1, okay? If the fraction, if the numerator is smaller, then the fraction is less than 1. Fraction is less than 1. Okay, so we're going to compare these fraction bars. This is something that they do in Khan Academy, but I think hearing it from me or hearing it a different way might help you a little bit. I realize this isn't in the packet. I'm going to start copying the pages from the packet, and I'm going to start going over some of those with you as well. Okay, so this is one whole, and the question is, which fraction bars equal 1/3? Which of these equal 1/3? Okay, so I'm going to draw this fraction bar over here. I notice it has 1, 2, 3 sections. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3 sections, and they colored in 1. I'm going to move that 1 they colored in over here. Oh, geez, Ziggy. I'm going to move this in over here. So this is 1 out of 3 sections, so I know that this is equal to 1/3. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and they may not be exact. I can tell I'm a little off there. I see that 2 are shaded, so I'm going to shade in these first 2 in the front. When I shade in these first 2, I notice something. I go all the way to the center, so 2/4 equal 1/2. So I know that this is not equivalent to 1/3. That's not the same. Okay, next section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So I'm going to very carefully draw 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, I know it's not perfect. I see that 2 of them are shaded. 2 are shaded blue. I'm going to color in these 2 pieces. I know these are 8 pieces and they're in eighths. So if I add an 1/8 and another 1/8 together, I'm actually going to get 1, 2, this is equivalent to a 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to get 2/8, and that's equal to 1/4. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and write my 1/4 here, but this would be like 2/8. That is not 1/3. So far, the only one that's equal to 1/3 is that first one. Here's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And there are 1, 2, 3 shaded. 1, 2, I gotta hurry and go get that girl. 3 pieces shaded. So I can tell when I look at this that half of the bar is shaded. So that would be 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 equals 3/6, and that's equal to 1/2. So the only one of these that was equivalent to 1/3 is the first bar. Only that first bar. Oh goodness, now the mailman's here. This is my life. Okay, my dogs clearly do not like the mailman. So some days I record videos about 5 times the same video over and over, and I have to erase and redo it. I'm just going to keep going. You guys can see what it's like and all the trials and errors of my videos. Comparing fractions greater than 1. 8/4 and there's a blank here, and 3/2. Bowie, go lay down. 8/4 and 3/2. All right, so we want to decide if this is greater than, less than, or equal to. All right, now I've completely lost my train of thought. I can see 8 is the larger number here, and 3 is the larger number here. The best way for me to compare these fractions is to draw number lines. So, I'm going to divide one of these number lines into halves, and one of these number lines into fourths. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 0 on both number lines. Here's my 1, and here's my 2. Oh, excuse me, I'm not going to do that on this one. Okay, so if I'm dividing this into halves, half would be midway between 0 and 1, and midway between 1 and 2. Midway between 0 and 1, and midway between 1 and 2. So I would have 1/2. 2/2 would be my 1, 3/2, and 4/2. And as you can see, 2 would equal 4/2, 1 would equal 2/2. So my 3/2 would be right there. This one I'm going to go ahead and put my number 1 and my number 2, and I'm going to have more little dashes. So I'm going to have to do fourths. So I know my fourths are in between the 0 and the half, and the half and the 1. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those. They're going to be 3 little marks: 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4. Oopsie. Let me fix that. That doesn't look exactly right. 6/4, 7/4, 8/4. So if I was to label all of these, I would have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4. Okay, so 2 is over here. So 3 divided by 2, 2 can go into 3 one time, and then I'd have 1 left over, and I'd put that over 2. So this is 1/2. See, it's between 1 and 2. It's 1/2, or 3/2, and that is less than 2. And that is less than 2. I apologize, my board was down. So 8/4 is actually greater